everyone. We're going to get started on the Insight Timer app in just a moment. So if you are joining us live and you'd like to be part of the interactive chat, please hop on over to the Insight Timer app to join us there. Hello, friends. Welcome. Hi, Richard. Hi, Jason. Hi, Mayor. Mayor, maybe? Please correct me. Hi, Jenny. Hi, Angela. Hi, Liz. Okay, great. Thank you. Hi, Cindy. Thanks, Jason. Always appreciate you letting me know that things are looking and sounding good. Hi, Emily. Hi, Jacqueline. We'll wait a few more moments and then we'll get started. Hi, Shalene. Hi, Jennifer. Hi, Linda. Hi, Stacy. Hi, Sarah-Lynn. Hi, Jane. Okay. Warm welcome, everyone. Warm welcome. For anyone that I'm getting to meet for the first time, my name is Selena. I'm just going to check and make sure. Oh, we're going to get the better mic on here. Okay, how's that? You should be able to hear me more clearly with the other mic now turned on. I forgot to turn it on before. Okay, wonderful. Thank you. I just forgot to switch mics. Okay, great. All right, yes, so for anyone that I'm getting to meet for the first time, my name is Selena Layel. I'm a yoga and meditation instructor, a transformational coach, an awakened life teacher. I have many recordings here on the app. I have a 10-day course, Yogic Practices for a Peaceful Life. I lead lives here every week. And hi, everyone. Trajectory, haven't seen you in a long time. Great to see you. Extra warm welcome, Terry. Thanks for joining us today. So many ways for us to join. And I'm thinking with kind of the rising intensity in creation that I might start to add a few more very short lives to the schedule. So keep your eyes open for that. I know when we're together, we're usually here together for quite some time, but it's just so useful to be able to be together and support one another in these intense times. So I might be adding a few more short lives. Hi, Ro. Hi, Wendy. Excellent. Thank you for being here. So, yes, and if you're unfamiliar with the donation process on the app, part of the donation goes to the instructor if you feel compelled from your heart to offer that monetary energetic exchange. And part of your donation also goes to the Insight Timer app, so we can continue supporting Insight Timer in all for supporting us in all of the ways. So wait, what am I trying to say? Supporting Insight Timer to continue supporting all of us in all of the ways that they do that. So infinite gratitude for this platform so that we can be here together. So, hi Almaz. We are in our second session today, hi Nicole, of our manifestation series. This is a topic that I find so inspiring and fascinating and incredible in so many ways for so many reasons. I think primarily because we get to actually see and experience how powerful we are. Many of us live inside of this space of just feeling like life is always happening to us. And we're just doing our best to navigate the challenges and the ups and downs of life. And the more that we really learn about the power of our minds, the power of our brains, and if you'd like to take it further, the power of the beings that we are, these infinite beings, the more we realize we have so much more creative power and agency than we ever realized was there before. It creates a greater sense of freedom in our lives, empowerment, humility, a reverence for the preciousness of life, and a joy in seeing that we can create more of what we want. In our last session, again, this is the second of 5. You're welcome to be here for as many as you're able to be here for. It's okay if you missed last session. In our last session, we really tapped into and looked at, as much as you can in 1 hour, the power of our minds. We looked at the power of our focus. Many of you have heard sayings like, where focus goes, energy flows. What we put our attention on grows. The more you focus on something, the more you experience that. So we looked at how there's this experience in our lives of focus really creating much of what we experience. And how when we start to use the power of our focus, we can literally shift what's happening in our lives. We also spoke about what's happening in the brain, a small part of what's happening in the brain in our day-to-day experiences that are creating our lives to be what they are. And I'll just touch on that very briefly as a reminder. The RAS, the reticular activating system, this bundle of nerves in the backside here in the brain that function in part as a filter. And the more we focus on something combined with our belief systems, which of course many are very outdated and conditioned ways of thinking that really aren't in alignment with what we truly feel and think about the world, old conditioning, that the combination of our focus and these old belief systems and conditioning within us determine how this filter functions. So if I believe that life is just difficult, and I learned it from my parents, I heard them say it, I saw it in my own life, I've experienced traumas as we do as human beings, and I really have this belief that life is difficult. This filter in the brain will continue to help me see that what I believe is true. It doesn't mean it's true. It means my brain will filter in the information that is in alignment with my belief that life is difficult. And of course, you can have someone on the other side of things who believes that life is pure magic and effortless and full of beauty and miracles. And their brain will show them how that is true. There's nothing right or wrong, good or bad about this. It is the awareness that through our brains, our minds, our energetic systems, we are creating our life experience. And something else that I just really want to touch on for just a moment here, because I know many of us get caught in this sense of like, oh, I have a chronic illness or a terminal illness, or I have, something going on inside of me and I just must be doing everything wrong and everything bad, and I must be getting punished, or I just must be doing things the wrong way. I invite us, I'm not here to say there's any one way, I'm not here to say what is right or wrong, but I invite us to just set aside those thoughts that we are, what do I want to say here? Let's invite a little more compassion and kindness. Even if we are creating some chronic illness, there's no need for us to beat ourselves up. And I have very dear friends that are the most spiritually practiced people I know, with their mind, emotions, with their behaviors, with their dedication to serving humanity and the light and spirituality, and they still have chronic illnesses. So I'm saying this to just give this this consideration that not everything is a direct link as much as we think it is. And yet we are very powerful. So I know that might sound contradictory, but I just invite us to come into this experience with a greater sense of compassion for whatever our experience is and whatever's arising in our experience. Let's see, Al's sharing, Was Einstein correct when he said that the most important question to ask yourself is this: is the universe friendly or unfriendly? Ah, that's a great question. I think there are many questions that we could say are the most valuable question. I think in general, asking questions is very helpful. Having inquiry rather than thinking we know everything opens doors for new wisdom, new possibility, and so on. Thank you for asking. All right, my beloved. So, little brief recap there about what we dove into in our last session. And today we're going to look at how, again, continuing this awareness of the power of our focus through writing, thinking, and speaking helps us to really manifest, to create powerfully the lives that we're wanting to live. So, I invite you to have a journal for this practice. If you have a brand new journal, even better. If you don't have a journal and you just have a notepad or some pieces of paper, great, go ahead and grab those. Just wait a moment here while we grab those types of things that we can use for writing. And as always, I invite you to actually write. So rather than typing something on your device, get a piece of paper and something to write with. We'll just wait a few more moments here. Awesome, Nicole. Awesome. Nicole is sharing, I want to manifest tremendous things. Beautiful. Our last session of this series, I think it's called the Power of Patience. And we'll dive more into that as a completion. I've just found that I have many grand dreams that I intend on creating this lifetime, and I also recognize some of them may not come to fruition for decades. So part of the journey of manifesting is practicing patience, but we're not going to get into that today. All right, so hopefully everyone has something to write with, and if you're kind of just sitting here as a spectator, I really invite you to join for this. You might find yourself pleasantly surprised by what you experience through the process. So in a moment here, we're going to move into some journaling. But first, I'm going to share something that has really greatly served me in my life. Many years ago, I was going through a period of depression and probably just not feeling like life was very much on my side, these types of mental and emotional patterns. And someone very dear to me turned me on to, I think, two teachings at that time. They turned me on to Tony Robbins. And we won't go into who these teachers are, but I find them to be incredible, powerful beings and teachers of service on the planet. So Tony Robbins, and the other one was, oh goodness, he, oh, my brain just didn't let me pull it up, and because this is the teacher that really impacted this practice for me. I'll come back to it. For anyone who's familiar with his teachings, I know somebody will be able to think of his name and just drop it in the chat for me. One of his teachers was Napoleon Hill, and he created all of this work around Think and Grow Rich, kind of in practice. No, we're getting closer though. He created a lot, like his whole marketing. His whole marketing strategy was to get people to think about wanting to grow rich. And so all of his teachings, Bob Proctor, thanks, Shalene, Bob Proctor, yes. So he hooked the general public in with all of these teachings about how to get rich fast. But really the basis of all of the teachings are the power of our own energy, the power of our own minds, the power of our own hearts, and how we can powerfully create from that. So I was going through this really rough period. Someone turned me on to a talk that Bob Proctor was giving. And it was so powerful. And one of the teachings that he shared, and I also heard this from Tony many years ago as well, is to spend time every day thinking about or even writing down at least 3 things that you feel grateful for. At least 3 things. And some fantastic studies have been done on the practice of gratitude. There's one in particular that I believe happened at the University of San Diego, I think. And they took all of these patients who had different variations of heart disease. They divided the group in half. They kept all of their regular medications and daily practices that they did for care of their bodies. But half of the group had a gratitude journal. The other half did not. The group that had the gratitude journal, they wrote in this journal every day, and they only wrote down 2 things they felt grateful for. That's it. They wrote down 2 things each day that they felt grateful for. And at the end of this 2-month period, which was a controlled study, they found that all of the patients, 100% of the patients that had participated in the journaling gratitude exercise, all had increased health and well-being. Not just physically did they have an increase in their health, I'm trying to remember exactly what it was. I can't remember the exact study, but their physical bodies were healthier, and levels of things like depression and anxiety had lowered significantly. So I took this practice that I learned about writing down things I was grateful for, and I added on a little more. I probably learned this someplace as well. I took a journal. I think this is one of the first. I've been writing this one on and off for years, but I've had many journals that I've done this in. And I wrote down, I took it to the next level. You don't have to go this far, but every single day for months on end, I wrote down 10 things that I was grateful for. It could be anything. It doesn't have to be some grandiose thing. It could be something really simple, like I'm grateful for the cloud in the sky. So I would write down 10 things that I felt grateful for. And then after that, I would write down 10 things I was grateful for manifesting. So 10 things I was grateful for to kind of wake up those feelings of gratitude, bring that sense of opening and receptivity in my being, move into the qualities of the heart and out of the doubt and that constriction of the mind. And then I would write down 10 things I was grateful for manifesting. And each of these 10 things that I would write down, I wrote down as if it was already true, as if it was already happening. I didn't write it down like, yeah, someday it'll be great when I have this, or I hope someday it works out, or I want this to happen. Do you hear how in all of those examples, I want this to happen, it would be great, I will someday? None of those examples are speaking to what I want in present tense as if it's already happened. They're all putting it in some possible fate of the future. So I would write down, and many of the things I would write down, I would start by saying, I am. Many of you have heard this teaching. I am, no matter the language, the 2 most powerful words in creation. Because everything we say, we think after I am, we are bringing into manifestation, we are bringing into creation. And even if it doesn't automatically manifest in our lives, it is an energy that we are drawing to us. This is the law of resonance, which we're getting into in one of our later sessions in this series. Yeah, Charlotte, we have so many amazing teachers that are bringing this merging of ancient wisdom, because so much of this is just ancient knowledge and wisdom. And we're combining it with neuroscience. We're combining it with a greater understanding of the brain and what's happening in these phenomenal physical forms that we have. So we're so fortunate to be alive in this time. So I am, these powerful words in creation. So I would write down in my 10 things that I was grateful for manifesting. I am so grateful that I am living in my dream home, yada, yada, yada. I am so grateful that I'm surrounded by beautiful, loving, healthy community. I would write it as if it was already happening, not someday in the future. Now, this is not just a teaching that might seem esoteric, like the law of resonance. This is also, coming back to our last session, the power of your brain. The brain does not discern between imagination and reality. That's why we can be thinking something that feels scary, and our nervous system will start to respond as if we're actually facing a threat. And vice versa. If we have a really, really, really good fantasy that's just full of joy and passion and awesomeness, we feel great in our bodies because there's not this discernment about something that is real or imagined. So part of this practice of writing things down in a way that is speaking to them as if they're already part of our lives is actually training our brains and activating our energetic fields, you could say, to be drawing that to us already. And this goes not just with what we write and not just with what we think, but with what we speak. See, many of us have great practices where we, write a couple things down in our journal. We practice gratitude. We think happy thoughts and affirmations. But if we don't check ourselves, maybe we still find ourselves complaining a lot, or speaking poorly of others, or judging people, or talking, maybe just for the sake of conversation. Maybe you have someone in your life who they just feel like life is so difficult all the time. And so maybe one of your ways to feel more connected to that person is to be like, yeah, I know, I feel you. This thing is so painful right now, and this is really bad right now, and this isn't going well. So it's about aligning all of these aspects of our own life experience, our minds, how we think, how we speak, our behaviors. There are powerful studies and teachings that also say the more that we act in alignment with that which we're wanting, acting as if it is our life, the more we are even bringing ourselves into greater coherence with that which we are wanting. Nicole is asking, does it mean we must have faith? It is manifesting in this moment, in the true reality. So part of what creates new neural pathways in the brain, anchors new information in the brain, and definitely activates things energetically for us is strong emotion. When we have an emotion combined with a thought, especially if it's a powerful thought, something magnificent happens within us. New things are created. So if I'm sitting here and I'm saying like, oh, I feel so grateful for this, I'm not activating any of those things in my being. I'm not activating those endorphins in my brain. I'm not tapping into a knowingness that there are wonderful things in my life. And the same thing can go with when we're writing down the things that we are choosing to manifest. Naturally, it might feel difficult to manifest what we're wanting. However, part of the practice, and Nicole, I'm so grateful you brought this up because it's a fantastic question, and many of us, including myself, can relate to it. Practicing conjuring an emotion with that thought is what will help to anchor it and create it to be more of a possibility. This is also what we spoke to a little bit in our last session when we were practicing the power of visualization as a way to start to train the mind and the brain to draw towards us what we're wanting. We also spoke about the power of conjuring those good feeling emotions as a way to anchor this in the brain in our experience. So it's not always easy. However, the more that we practice conjuring an emotion that really represents, I believe this is possible, I can feel it happening already, the more likely it is that we are becoming a magnet for that which we are wanting. Because everything is vibration. Yes, we spoke on this as well last time. Science has shown us that everything in creation vibrates, including thoughts and emotions. So if I sit here and I say, here's one we can all relate to, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire, I'm a millionaire, but I don't feel like it. I'm actually a little more focused on how difficult it is to pay my bills or take care of my family. Or maybe I have the thought, I'm a millionaire, but I haven't addressed any of the old beliefs from growing up that tell me money is very difficult to acquire. That you have to work yourself to death practically to have money. So there are many, many layers here, and we could go many different directions. Our diving into this topic for this 5-week series, we can only really go so deep, yes? And it's different for each of us because we all come from different backgrounds, we all have different minds, we all have different experiences in our lives that have brought us to where we are today. So I'm going to pause here for just a moment because this is so much talking. So just take a moment and take a breath together. Deepen the breath, relax the body. It's okay just to pause, slow down for a moment. Just slow it down. You don't need to do something else because we're taking a pause. Just be right here with you, with your breath, with your beloved self, your beloved body. Right here in this moment. Right here in this moment. Right. Oh, thank you. And I see Brett has shared, I've experienced this negatively. Watching and engaging with the news is actually depressing. Brett, I'm not exactly sure what you're referencing there. It looks like I missed that from a few minutes ago. Thank you for sharing with us, though. Awareness in any form is powerful. It gives us more of an opportunity to make choices consciously. Norma is sharing, I practice this every day. I write it down with the feeling that it's already happened. Awesome, awesome, awesome. This, I always feel guilty or like spiritual bypassing while doing this. When there is so much suffering in the world, peace, gratitude increases it. Practice gratitude increases it. My love, are you sharing that practicing gratitude increases the feelings of guilt? Is that what you're saying? That's a very deep topic. And maybe we won't go into that today because I think it'll really take us on a whole new trajectory. I would like to just momentarily address it though. All right, we've been together for a long time now, yes? I think about a year now. And sometimes the energy comes through with very clear, concise messages that sometimes might seem a little intense, but sometimes they're exactly what we need to hear to kind of cut through the chaos of the mind. So this is what's coming when I check in for your question today. We all have patterns. Each of us has different patterns. Patterns that have developed from childhood, patterns that have developed as strategies to help us navigate the world, life, to be able to make it through. We all have different strategies. And we also have go-to emotions. I know we've been together when we've spoken about this, that we all have emotions, usually one in particular, but maybe more than one, that we've felt so many times over and over and over and over and over again in our lives that they're second nature. They just arise for what seems to be no reason sometimes because they're literally a habit in the brain, and you could say in the physiologies in a way, in our energetic systems as well. So sometimes these patterns are so strong, they will pull us into an experience, even if it doesn't resonate with the experience or the action. So for example, if you're wanting to focus on gratitude, there's another pattern here, we could say, in this moment of guilt or shame or whatever it might be. I'm not here to label your experience, so please know that I'm here to just sit with you in this. And I'm not here to even say this is this is true for you. I'm just offering it as a possible insight. Yeah, consideration. That's it. As always, you don't need to agree with me at all, and I'm not here to say that. So whatever that emotional experience is for you that causes you to feel badly when you focus on things that you're grateful for, we could consider that that might be one of the emotional habits or the emotional ways of being that are strong in your system. For example, one of mine is shame. I mean, shame can pop its head up anywhere, even in the most nonsensical moments in my life. So we have these patterns. And look, if we really look with an open mind, an innocent mind, and we say, who does it serve for me to feel badly about having things to be grateful for? Who does it serve for me to feel badly about feeling grateful for the goodness I have in my life? Because I can pretty much guarantee that it doesn't serve any of the people suffering. You focusing on gratitude doesn't add to their suffering. It doesn't take away from their moments where they might have some goodness in their life. So if it's not actually serving the well-being of the people that we think it's about, why is it there? Why is this coming up? If it doesn't actually do any good for these people because that's the idea, right? Like, oh, I care so deeply for others. I care so deeply for the people who are suffering that I should suffer. But that doesn't do them any good. Us sitting around and suffering, it doesn't actually help them. So why is this here? What is maybe the deeper disguised purpose of this pattern? What is that? Where can I be curious about this? Because again, it's not serving our beloveds around the world who are suffering for us to suffer with them. It doesn't. Maybe it makes us feel better about ourselves. Maybe it makes us feel like we're not a bad person. Maybe we grew up in a family where we were taught that, you shouldn't have more than others, or it's wrong to be selfish. All of these beliefs about it's bad to have abundance, it's bad to enjoy the luxuries of life, it's bad to enjoy the elegance of life. We all have different upbringings, and many of us grew up in families where we learned things like this, or religious circles where we learned things like this. It's bad to have. But that doesn't serve anyone else. If there's anything I've learned in my life, the more I have, the more I can serve freely. The more that I'm supported through my work, the more I can spend hours of my life on Insight Timer, where I barely receive any donations, in all transparency. I can spend hours of my time being here together. I'm not here for money. I'm here for us. The more that we have, the more ability we have to give, to be generous, to share. And the more we have, the more it allows us to actually feel more relaxed. We think more clearly, and we're able to be more supportive of others. So I think it's really perfect. I'm so grateful that you shared this. And I would love to hear anything that you're kind of present to inside of yourself. And again, I'm not here to say this is right or this is your life. I'm so glad you shared this though, in part because this is a very important topic when it comes to manifestation. So many of us want, but we feel we don't deserve. So many of us want, but we feel like we have to do more. We all have desires. We all want more, whether or not we admit it to ourselves. That's not true. Some of us are in a experience of such peace and contentment that everything is a gift and everything is a blessing. But for most of us, we're still kind of caught in this dream world, this illusion, where there are many desires, and that's okay. So, how do we practice becoming aware of our beliefs that are keeping us from powerfully creating what we actually want? And finding a way to disengage from contradictory desires and beliefs. My beloved Saima, who many of you know is my beloved teacher of many, many years, and my beloved shared this fantastic recording with me at the beginning of the year. And one thing that Ma was saying was to stop. I don't know the exact words Ma used in the recording right now, but to stop with all of the contradictory beliefs. And many of us will say, well, how is that possible? Sometimes we don't need to know the how. Sometimes just planting the seed is the beginning of something new. And Ma would say, stop this. I want this, but. I would like this, but. Stop feeding. You can't have two masters. You can't serve two masters at the same time. You can't serve. So we need to start to practice more and more which master within our own being we are consciously serving. Awesome, this. Wonderful, 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 wonderful. I absolutely did, Gabriella. I absolutely did. Gabriella asked if I manifest moving to Hawaii. Absolutely. So we'll bring it back. That was really powerful. It was such a powerful topic to cover in the power of manifesting, yes. Because so many of us have these contradictory or conflicting beliefs or feelings or thoughts. And there's much we can look at there. So, writing what we want, visualizing what we want, speaking it into our lives. How many of us, like we write down in our journal that says, I'm so powerful and I have everything I need. And then when we're with other people, we're like, yeah, it was a really rough week. Yeah, I feel like someone, how about this one? Maybe this is a little easier for all of us to kind of relate to. You're writing down how you want to live the most joyful life. You write down or you say an affirmation. A lot of us have affirmation apps and practices. You listen to the meditations. And your affirmation says, I'm powerful and I am love and I am enough and I am amazing. And you practice this affirmation and someone asks you, hey, how you doing? And you're like, I'm fine. I'm okay. It's not to say that we should pretend everything's okay. Absolutely not. But start to become aware of how we have all of these other habits when it comes to being with other people. So we could go on and on and on there, but we're not going to for sake of time because it's time to get into our practice before we complete. How you doing out there, my beloveds? Are you feeling this? Are you learning anything? Are you reminded of your own wisdom and knowledge? Am I rubbing you the wrong way with my personality or maybe the way that I look? And the sound of my voice? Marnita! So happy you made it. Awesome. Oh. Awesome. Great. And you know what part of the beauty is of having all of these different bodies that look differently and personalities that are different and energies that are different? We don't all resonate with the same kind of person. So how fantastic that there are so many of us that we can find the people we resonate with the most. I know some people I must absolutely rub the wrong way. They probably just look at me and they're like, oh, they turn off the live, And that's okay. It's just part of life. We resonate differently. Yes. So, all right. It was the pearls. Yeah, exactly. All right, what are we doing? Grab your paper and the thing you're going to write with. Now, here's the thing. Actually, I'm going to stop talking. What do you think about that? We're just going to dive into our practice. So I'm going to play some music. And the first part of our practice, my beloveds, and I know for that some of that rubs you all so wrong. I mean it with all of my heart. You are my beloved. I mean it with all that I am. You're right here. So I'm going to turn this music on, and we are going to write down thought after thought after thought of what we're grateful for. It could be anything, and I invite you to just write from the things that seem smallest to biggest, whatever it is. Write down all of your thoughts about what you feel grateful for. The people in your life, the experiences. That's my teacher, Selena, in the background, actually. There's so much to be grateful for, so just let your mind be focused and free right now. One thing after the next. And rather than just mechanically writing and thinking, start to really feel in your heart, feel in your body why this gratitude is here. If there's someone you feel grateful for, why do you feel grateful for them? Is it their love, their joy, their passion, their beauty? Feel that in your heart. If you're grateful for something, don't just write down my job. Why are you grateful for your job? Write it down, feel it inside. Just write it all down on your piece of paper. And just keep going, keep going. Let your gratitude be uncensored. It doesn't even have to make sense. Just write with passion, write from your heart. Go beyond the doubting mind in this moment. I love it so. What are you grateful for? What experiences from your life? What precious moments? Beautiful coincidences that have brought gifts and blessing in your world? Who's blessing your life right now? We'll be here for about another minute, so just continue to allow this gratitude to flow from your heart. Relax your chest, relax your shoulders, your jaw, your throat. And start to wrap it up. Maybe write down your last thought. or 2. And then set your writing utensil down. Close your eyes. Feel the expansion in your heart. Feel your throat relaxing. Relax your jaw and your face. Open your chest. Let your body relax in your seat. Take a deep, full breath in and out. Now, from this beautiful space in your heart, start to think about the things that you desire for your life. It could be something small. It could be something big. Just allow your imagination to start to expand. What do you desire in your life? Is it deeper friendships? Is it peace and harmony in your family? Is it more money, more support? Let your imagination go beyond. And if you find that those habits of guilt or doubt come up, just set those aside as much as you can for this practice. You can always come back to them later if you want. And now start to imagine the things that you desire for your life as if they are already happening. If you desire to have peace and harmony in your relationship, see yourself smiling with your beloved, holding each other tightly with this love and this care, laughing together, playing together, speaking with respect and peace. Imagine your relationship is full of these beautiful exchanges and feelings. If it's something physical, material that you're wanting, maybe it's a car and you imagine yourself sitting in the driver's seat, your hands on the wheel. What does it smell like? What does it feel like? How great do you feel inside? Take these next couple of minutes to just let your mind and imagination explore your desires as if they're happening right now. And let it feel good. Let it feel good. Wow, I feel this as if it's happening. I can feel the possibility in my body and my heart. What do you smell? What do you taste? Where are you in this amazing moment of living a life that you love? Now take a deep breath. Slowly open the eyes. Gracefully take your pen or pencil, your journal, notepad, or piece of paper, and write down in present tense these desires. And you may wish to start at the top of the page by writing, I am so grateful. At the top of the paper, I am so grateful. And you could even say, I am so grateful for manifesting if you want. I am so grateful, or I am so grateful for manifesting. And then start to write down these desires as if they are already fulfilled. I'm so great. And be specific. Be specific. This helps the brain. I'm so grateful that I have my brand new 2022, uh, what's a fancy car? Ferrari. It's red and it has leather seating and whatever. If it's a relationship, I'm so grateful. I'm in the most joyous, beautiful, romantic relationship with my beloved partner of my heart and soul. We love being together. Feel free just to get detailed here. You don't have to write down all of your desires. You just write down a few today. Detail, passion, feel the good feeling as you write it down. I am so grateful my body is stronger and healthier and more vital than it has ever been before. And I'm doing all of these things that I love with my body. I'm so grateful that I have a bank account with X amount of money and I'm free to live my life how I choose and to be generous with my time and my money. Write it down in detail. Present tense. Maybe you want to spend the last few moments of this practice just writing on one of these desires in every little detail that you can think of. Wonderful. Go ahead and start to wrap up what you're writing. And then when you're ready, set down your writing utensil again, close your eyes, place your hands over your heart. Breathe deeply and feel this space you're creating inside right now with your intention, your focus, the powerful being, the powerful creator that you are. Feel what you are consciously creating, anchoring in this moment. And be so grateful to yourself. Grateful for having the courage to take a risk, to dream, to honor yourself and listen to yourself. And slowly open your eyes. So here is the practice, my beloveds. Every day, why not? Come on, we do other things every single day. Why not do something that we really want to do? I know it's not always that easy. Every day, and you can give yourself a time frame. Maybe you say, okay, every day for the next 21 days, or every day for the next month, or maybe you start with 1 week, or maybe you know that you want to do this for 6 months solid. Give yourself a time frame. This is something that's very helpful when introducing new ways of being. Yeah, Sandy, that's great. That's great. You can just keep writing and writing and writing on this. It's beautiful. So here's our practice. And I really invite you, in our last practice, the homework we were kind of left with was to become more aware of our focus and recognizing that's impacting what we're experiencing in our day-to-day lives. And also for anyone who wishes to read or listen to the book Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. Again, it's a little outdated, but it's a fantastic, just a fantastic foundation for really understanding how powerful we are and energy. Yeah, Nicole. Yeah. So choose your time frame, and for these next days, write down 3 to 10 things every day in your journal. So you write down, let's see if I can find an area where I used to always write with numbers, but now I just kind of write I am. So you would write down, here are the 3 to 10 things right here that you're grateful for in your life. So you just get into that energy of gratitude, into that place of the heart. And then you can just write down the next 3 to 10 things that you're grateful for manifesting. And again, write it down as if it is already happening. Write it down present tense. Thank you, beloveds, for your donations. Thank you for supporting me. I'm so grateful. So grateful. I love being together. So the more I'm able to, have that freedom to be here, even if no one ever donated, the better it is. So thank you so much for creating the space for me to be here together. So 3 to 10 things that you're grateful for, and then 3 to 10 things that you are grateful for manifesting. And something that you might also want to practice, especially if this is a new kind of exploration for you. Let yourself just write freely, and really let your imagination expand. The imagination is this higher mental faculty. It's great for most of us when we're kids. It's very functional and active, but the older we get, the more limited the imagination becomes, truly, unless we have certain careers. So just write down every single detail, rather than just writing down, I'm so grateful I live in a new house. You write down the approximate address of that house. And if you're not sure what the address is, go look on a map in the city that you want to live in, or the region you want to live in, and figure out where that is on the planet. Get specific. I live in my beautiful new home at this approximate address. Maybe you just want to say the town or the area of the town or the city that you're in. It's this color. It has this kind of a yard. It has this kind of flowers and trees in the yard. When you walk in the door, it looks like this. It smells like this. The lighting is like this. I can feel the hardwood floors or the carpet under my feet. Really just take time to let your imagination awaken. Get specific with every detail. And if it's something where you're like, I don't really know how to have that much detail, if it's my partner, you can. Maybe you write down all of the wonderful qualities your partner has, or you imagine all of the beautiful moments that you share together, what it feels like to be in their embrace, what they smell like, how peaceful or loving or kind the words are between you, where you go together to adventure and explore and play. Just keep going with detail in all of these things. Richard, I produced the infomercial for T&GR in the early 80s. It's about so much more than the money. Yes, exactly. He just knew more people would react to it that way. Exactly. Absolutely. The thing is, most of us, what is like one of the number one desires for the average person, at least in the West, I don't know, maybe it's just America, but it's this desire to win the lottery. That's why it's such a, that's why there are actually, I don't know enough about the lottery to say why it is. I have speculation, but I've never studied it. So the thing that most people want is money. We're so focused on money. So if you have something powerful to deliver to someone that's very deeply spiritual, or has a way to give them more empowerment than they ever knew they had, or to help transform their lives, they might not hear you. They might not hear you in your delivery or in your marketing if it doesn't have to do with something that feels absolutely necessary for their fundamental well-being. So absolutely, yeah. Money is a great marketing tool, right? Sex and money. But if you really look at some of these amazing products, they have nothing to do with money. money is a wonderful byproduct sometimes. So another thing here that I like to do, you can do this with affirmations also, but something that I will do sometimes is I will type out or write out my visions, and you can write them out as goals or dreams, or this is what I'm creating. I wouldn't use the word dream, bring it into this 3D reality. Yeah. So write down what it is that you are choosing to create. I'm living in my beautiful new home. I have this, I have that, and put it around your home so you see it all of the time, because the more that you think these thoughts and feel these good feelings and imagine yourself in these situations, whether it's enlightenment or being a billionaire, the more that you put your focus in that, the more you are activating that within your being, brain, energy, and so on. Yes, we've been going over this again and again. So write down in your journal and speak it. Speak it. Practice speaking it out loud. Sometimes when we have dreams, it's good to let them marinate, right? To let them gestate, rather than just telling everyone all of our dreams. Sometimes there's something sacred about holding a dream and watering it with our heart and our focus and our intention. So maybe that's how you feel about these visions that you are creating for your life. As we say in our teachings, future memory. The more you think about it as if it's already happening, it's like it's a memory, but it's in the future. And you're creating it from that powerful place in the brain and your energetic field. So maybe you feel to just sacredly water this vision for your life. Or maybe you feel like you want to speak about yourself with your family, with your friends, as if this is already so. I am this kind of person. I am living this kind of life. This is what's happening for me. So use the power of your focus. Write in your journal every day 3 to 10 things you're grateful for, 3 to 10 things you are grateful to have already manifested. Write it down as if it's already happened. Speak it, and have things around your home that have you bringing your attention to it all throughout the day. Not just once, but a handful of times. Maybe you set an alarm on your phone. You can set my phone. Maybe you set an alarm on your phone that reminds you once an hour to just take a breath and put your attention on that which you're creating. And of course, it's natural to feel doubt. It's natural to feel fear. It's natural to feel these things arise. You just keep redirecting your focus. Not suppress the emotions. You can sit with those emotions and be kind with yourself and loving with yourself. You don't need to push them away. Redirect your focus again and again. And maybe one day you're just having a day where you're like, it all feels like today. It's good to at least write down what you're grateful for, and maybe read what you wrote before. And I'd really invite, no matter how you're feeling, be committed to your visions in your journal. Even if you have a total crap day, still write in your journal. Even if it feels like pulling teeth to think of something you feel grateful for, write it down anyway. That's part of the practice. Because for most of us, our feelings and our thoughts are changing constantly all throughout the day. And we let them pull us this way and that way and this way and that way. So rather than letting our feelings determine our behaviors, our focus, and our feelings, focus and behaviors, start to choose consciously what you're focusing on, no matter how you're feeling. Valerie is asking, what if you wind up writing the same thing? Great! That's great. You can write the same thing over and over again every day. That's what I did. The first time I really realized how much this works, for about 6 months, I would write down, in terms of the things that I was creating for my future memory, I wrote down almost the same things every day. Sometimes there would be new ones just because it felt good to write down new ones. But often I would just feel really good writing down these same things again and again. And every day I'm pouring my energy and my heart and my gratitude into those visions for my life as if they're already happening. And many of them came to fruition. No joke. And that's why I'm here. I'm not here to spew something that I learned from someone else because it's a popular topic. I'm here because I've seen it happen in my life again and again. and it's fascinating and it's wonderful. So yes, absolutely. And uh, again, coming back to what we're going to cover more in our last session, patience. Patience. Put your attention and your energy and your heart and your gratitude into this journaling practice, into your future memories, and then as much as you can, let go. Let go. Because we don't always know how these things will come to fruition in our lives. We might have an idea, this is exactly what I want. But if we open ourselves, something even better might come along. Or we might think it has to happen right now. It might happen in a year or 10 years. And that discourages many of us because we don't have a lot of longevity when it comes to our feelings and desires and focus. But it's powerful. It's powerful to practice pouring all of this energy into that which we're wanting, seeing it as if it has already happened, and then as much as we can, just practice taking a breath and letting it go. And saying, yes, ashe, aho, so it is, I see it. I see it, I know it. And then let go, and then let go, and then let go. Yeah, exactly. Exactly, Sandy. It's like a garden. Your mind is your garden. And whatever seeds you plant in the garden, they grow. But we don't have control over how that seed will grow. We might have control over the kinds of seed we plant, but we don't know how it's going to grow. So let us be open and practice gratitude, because gratitude in itself transforms our lives. And it's not always easy to feel grateful. Yes? Here are the two last things I'd like to share as we come to a conclusion. The first thing I'd like to share is that we're going through a time on the planet that is excruciatingly painful for so many. There's always pain on the planet. There's something happening right now in our process of awakening, you could call it, whatever you want to call it, or however you think about it. So many are suffering. And the kind of the nature of, I don't know if it's the nature of the mind, but the habits of the mind tell us that we're alone. And the pain we're experiencing, other people aren't experiencing, or that it's not okay to feel poorly or in pain. So many of us are in this great turning and transformation that looks like a lot of darkness and a lot of pain right now. So please, my beloveds, reach out. Reach out to your friends, your family. If you have a therapist or a coach, reach out. You don't have to navigate this alone. Come be part of our circle. That was the other thing I was going to show. We have a circle here on the app. Love Heals All. Love Heals All is the name of the circle. Come be with us there. It's just a supportive place to be together. You're not alone. Please reach out. Please know you are not alone. You're not alone. So many of us are just feeling it so much right now. You're not alone. Come be together. Come be with us in our circle. Find your place where you can connect with people in your life. Reach out. Reach out. And I know some of you send DMs to me sometimes, which I always invite. Please be aware of your settings. I often receive DMs from you, and something on your end doesn't allow you to receive friend requests or message replies. So I see your messages, and some of them are so touching, and I have no way to reach out to you or to respond. So if you're sending messages, please be aware of that. That goes, of course, for anyone. So, yeah, Nicole. Thanks, Richard, and thanks to the pearls. And thank you. I'm grateful you're here with us. It's so invaluable to be together. Yes, it's such a blessing and such a gift. So that is it, my beloveds. Thank you so much. Journal, be aware, focus your minds, cultivate and nurture your beautiful heart. And remember, you're not alone. We're here together. So I'll see some of you tomorrow for our Vinyasa yoga session happening here at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. So 3 p.m. Eastern Time tomorrow, we'll be having a yoga practice together, a yoga asana practice. And we'll continue with this series next Monday, my time, at 6 p.m. Eastern again, next Monday for a continuation of this fantastic deep dive into our own power and light and magnificence. We're in this together. We are here together. One experiencing itself as many. And in that, there is only love. The grace of love, the grace of our love.